Well, that was fun. Whew, I am out of breath. Whew. We just walked in about 2 kilometers, I'd say, following the river that you guys can't see, but I'm just staring at it right now, and followed this river all the way to an old spruce stand, which I'm in right now. And I'd been here in the summertime. I actually had a few fires here in the summer, and I'd put up a bunch of wood thinking that I'd come back this winter, which is exactly what I'm doing. And the goal of today is not just to get out here in the boreal forest, but it's actually to look for some suitable areas for a winter camping trip that we're going to be doing here next week. And some of the things that we're looking for, obviously, is the available wood supply. Got to have good dead standing or dead dry wood everywhere. And if you guys look behind me, that's not a problem here. No shortage of that. In fact, this is probably the most fuel wood you're ever going to find in one area. It's an old mature stand that's coming down. The next thing that we're looking for, though, is shelter out of the wind, especially coming up off the river, and spruce boughs, because we're on Crown land here. We're near the border at Woodland Caribou Park. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 10 kilometers or so from the park boundary. So we can harvest boughs, and we can use that to line our floor of our tent or any kind of winter camp to insulate us up off the ground. So I'm looking for available wood supply, fuel wood. I'm looking for spruce boughs, and I'm looking for protection from the wind. And I got one of the 3 here perfectly. I mean, that's the dead wood. Lots of black spruce down by the shoreline, but I'm up elevated here quite a bit, and it's a long ways down. And considering how many boughs or how much in the way of boughs I would need, I am not confident that I wouldn't feel tortured trying to go back and forth. But it still may be suitable. And then protection from the wind. Obviously, this forest is not closed in the way that other areas could potentially be, but there is still quite a bit of a difference from down on the river to here, so there is some protection that's afforded. And yeah, so we're out here anyways, and I'm gonna get fire going and take a good long look around and at least enjoy the day, even if this is not the spot that we come back to later on. It'll be good. Back in the boreal forest. Love it. Just get some of this gear out of the way. This is awesome. She bone dry, folks. I put this wood up here in July, and there's a good generous amount. I did not split it though, and I probably should have done that, but it's all been cut. Looks like the bark is off of most of it. She's bone dry inside. That's the good sound that you want to hear. We'll start getting this split up, I guess, and get on with the fire. Oh, she's bone dry. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now this wood's jack pine, so it's a little knotted. So just a pain in the butt sometimes, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? That's such a sweet sound. You know, I see people looking all the time for big wood to cut so they can make themselves a splitting block. In the winter, you don't have to do that. You don't have to cut down a tree and make a big log for splitting. Forest provides. This tree is very dead. It's been down for a long time. It's pretty level. So I say use the forest and what she gives you. Just top splitting anyways. I'm a firm believer keeping your camp organized. Whew, getting hot here. I always have my wood piles piled up, easy to get to, and less tripping hazards, because if you look around this forest, there are enough tripping hazards already. I think we got a good supply of wood, so I think we're done with the axe for now. Always put the mask back on too. And the one that came with this axe, this is a Grand's 4s, the rivets kept splitting out, and I went through 2 of them. So my good buddy here at Badger Claw Leatherworks, he made this for me. No rivets, just stitched, and it looks like it's stitched pretty well. And this guy's also real tight, a little tighter than the Grand's 4s was. Not to knock Grand's 4s, awesome axes. Just your sheaths or your masks kept blowing out, so got one made for me. Got to do some housekeeping. So we're gonna do today's fire right here. I've already decided that I am not going to use this area as a winter camp, so I don't mind having a fire kind of in the middle of this open area. It gives me some space to walk around, and I got a nice log about 4 feet away I can sit on, chill out, watch the sunset, which is just over there. So we're gonna start getting some logs piled up in here, use as a base, put our grill over top, get some water going. This grill goes everywhere with me. And look at that, it's perfect. No issues there at all. These logs are put in the fire probably 6 inches up off the ground, which is perfect for me. Nice low fire draw up the heat. Let's get a boil on. So as I had mentioned how there's so much deadfall all around here, there's black spruce just on the ground everywhere. And obviously when they're falling down in the forest, everything's suspended up. These are just black spruce branches. That stuff is bone dry. I mean, oh, I have missed this stuff being out in the mountains. This will get a fire going pretty quick. Yeah, so my tinder bundle today is just some birch bark and that cattail that we harvested earlier. And all I've done is just kind of mashed it all up in my hands, and it's all loose and fibrous, and this should take the fire steel, no problem. Well, it's been a good day exploring out here, guys. Didn't find the winter camp spot that we wanted, but we eliminated a location, and that's what's most important. And again, I mean, it's an incredible forest, lots of standing dead wood everywhere, but just not enough in the way of spruce boughs, close by anyways, to make this feasible. And I'd also like a more enclosed forest. But hey, we eliminated a spot. We had a good day out there in the forest and had good coffee, learned a little bit, and it's a good time. So tomorrow we'll head out into a different forest and do it all again in search of a good spot to put up the snow trek or tent for some trips that we got coming up here in the next week. But yeah, it's a good time. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Nick, who is Blackwater Bushcraft, at Blackwater Bushcraft on Instagram and on YouTube and maybe on Facebook as well. He showed me this area about 8 years ago when he moved up to this region. He's the one who took me here for the first time and showed me this area. We walked in during the summertime and just getting absolutely slaughtered by black flies and mosquitoes, and it was horrible. And then we kind of made a shelter. We stayed out here for 2 nights. It was awesome. He's the first person to ever teach me how to build a shelter his way anyways, which is a good way. I learned a lot. So Nick, man, thanks for showing me this place, and it's too bad you're not up here anymore, buddy, but you're in the rat race now, so it's all good. I'm gonna get out of here, head back to town. It's probably about 25-minute walk out and then another hour or so back to town. Guys, if you liked the video, please hit the little like button, send me a comment. Love seeing the comments. I try and read every single comment and respond back to every single comment. So I really appreciate that, and hit the subscribe button as well. It's been great. We've gained a lot of subscribers over the past month, and looks like the channel's finally gaining some traction, so that's pretty cool too. So we'll see you guys out there in the Boreal on the next one. Cheers.
Under the palm trees in the California sun, sand underneath our feet, the morning's just begun.